father, Mel, had taken ill with Parkinson's. Her mother wasn't handling it well. Karen had gone down to Atlanta to help take care of him, with her daughter away at Tufts, and her son, Alex, now 16, recruited to play lacrosse at an upstate prep school. It had been a year in which Hauck had finally learned to put much of the pain of his own past behind him, to learn to feel attached again, to fight for someone he wanted. He knew Karen loved him deeply for what he had done for her. Still, a lot of things stood in the way. Not just the money thing or their different families and backgrounds. Lately, Hauck had detected something in her. A restlessness. Maybe a sense of wanting to finally be free after being tied to a man her whole adult life, one who had so painfully deceived her. It was always a roll of the dice, they both knew, how things might work out between them. The jury was still out. "Come on," he said to Jess. "Grab some M&Ms, the boat's waiting." The autumn chill was late in coming that October Saturday morning, and they were heading out for a final jaunt on his skiff, the Merrily, over to Captain's Island before taking it out of the water for the winter. Maybe kick the soccer ball around a bit. Not a mean feat these days for Hauck, whose leg had still not fully healed from the 45 he had taken to the thigh. Grill a few dogs. Who knew how many more of these Saturdays he'd have with Jess? Just getting her up before 10 was already becoming a hard sell. They just stopped off on the way to fill up the Explorer and pick up a few snacks. Sue Neal, who ran the Exxon station next to the car wash on Putnam, was always a friend to the guys on the force. Hauck always made it his habit to fill up here. As they reached the counter, a woman was at the register ahead of them. The man in the green down vest stepped up, his arms wrapped around 2 six-packs of soda. "You guys go ahead." He waved them ahead and smiled good-naturedly. "Thanks." Hauck nodded back and nudged Jessie. "Thanks," she turned back and said. While they waited, Hauck said, "You know, I really hope you'll come up for Thanksgiving this year. Karen will be back." She shrugged. "I don't know, Dad." "You should. She likes you, Jess. You know that. It would make me feel good." "It's not that," she twisted her mouth. "It's just that it's different. They're, rich. Samantha and Alex, they're nice, but—" Hauck knew the adjustment had been toughest with her. His daughter felt like a fish out of water with them. Sam and Alex had grown up on rented boats in the Caribbean, and on spring breaks flew out to Beaver Creek to ski. She went up to Massachusetts to visit her cousins, and once they'd all flown down to Orlando to do the theme park thing. He squeezed her on the shoulder, careful not to draw any attention to it. "Yeah, but that doesn't make them from Saturn, Jess." "It's Mars, Dad," she corrected him. He shrugged. "Or Mars." The woman at the register finally finished up. Hauck stepped up to the counter. Sue Neal greeted him with his usual smile. "Lieutenant, so, how is the big star these days? I don't see you on the TV so much anymore." "That gig's over, Sunil. They don't pay me enough." The Pakistani laughed at Jessie. "Pretty soon we're going to see your father on Dancing with the Stars, doing the tango with some fancy celebrity. I bet you're very proud of your famous father, young lady." "Sure," Jessie shrugged. Hauck put his arm around her. "She thinks I'm famous in my own mind." He brought up the basket. "So, Sunil, we have a couple of sandwiches and sodas, and we also took a—" It was the screech that Hauck heard first. Grating. Terrifying. The red truck jerking to a stop right in front of their eyes. The heavily tinted passenger window slowly rolling down. Then the man in the red bandana leaning out. Not a man, Hauck recalled later, barely more than a boy, extending the short black cylinder as Hauck, unable to believe what he was seeing, stared at the protruding barrel. A second before the body blow of dread set in, before he realized in horror what was about to take place, he grabbed Jessie. "Everyone get down!" Chapter 2. The barrel erupted, spitting orange flashes of death and terror all around. The station's storefront shattered. "Jess!" Hauck pulled his daughter to the floor, the ear-splitting zip, zip, zip of 20 rounds per second exploding glass, toppling counters of candy and shredding magazines all over them.